Hope everybody's having a nice day, and the players are in. Okay, this is TsDL, round of 32. Onasi versus Z808. So, man, I'm so disheveled. Anyway, both pretty standard boxes. Near a mirror match. I think the only difference... Let me look a bit closer. So first off, there's Luna, and then there's Helena. And then there's Liko and Ares. So there's only two different units in this box. Ares, Helena versus Liko, Luna. Luna's leaning more... Luna and Liko on Z808 side are leaning more towards a defensive tank push base game. Once Luna for... She's good for mobility buffs as well, but really her magic damage reduction aura is really good. Although it's a little strange to ban Kiera so early. If that's your sort of strategy. Especially when you have a Hilda around too, who can reasonably prevent Kiera crits. Onasi, on the other hand, first bans Sherry. And first picks his own Sherry. You can see why that he first banned Sherry, because now he's picked TsDL. TsDL and the Hilda can be a bit rough. But TsDL still offers a lot of great teleport plays, plus strengthen. She can buff lots of people. There's also a Werner versus a Bolton that's difference in this box. Z808 definitely leaning more towards big tank push stuff. Onasi, on the other hand, having more capabilities to rush down his opponent. Second pick, Rosin. She's a decent answer to Bernhardt, Sword Dance. Helena will definitely be a lot less effective. AoE Ares will be a lot less effective. And now it looks a bit difficult for Onasi. I think it was more important for him to pick up a healer there rather than a tank. The issue was that Z808 banned out Juggler and Flow. So no matter what, Onasi was either going to lose a tank or both his healers. A tank's going to be more useful against all the debuff left up in Z808's box. Ares is a good pick here. Just generally a versatile unit with his swap. Can go single target to combo with the TsDL. Something else that Rosin's good against is the Sherry. It totally prevents Sherry from stunning your tank. Which, that's also one of Sherry's big plays, is to stun your tank and then go and assassinate somebody else. So if Sherry wants to bypass guard with Kruger, he's going to be a bit difficult to kill. Maybe if TsDL comes through, which with first pick Sherry, you probably want to fight at least one mage. And then Goblin Sherry can probably kill that with Shadow Raid if she brings Legion, as she should. If you're going to go that build. But banning TsDL is okay too. You're fighting Dog now. TsDL plus Dog is a really potent combo. You can just teleport the Dog on top of this Hilda, and then after he 3Cs or something, and then you can just snipe whoever you'd like for free. Immediately, the problem that I see with Onasi's comp is that there is just almost no healing. TsDL will be the only source of healing, and in order for her to heal the team, she's going to need to hit into Hilda, which, if with units like Kruger and even Juggler, it's a lot easier for Z808 to get the, for Z808 to get the first strike. And then TsDL will be injured, so if she hits into Hilda, she can likely die for it. Hey, what's up, MB? And even Liko has some decent range as well. So it looks like Z808's comp has the potential to outlast Onasi's comp by a lot, and Onasi doesn't exactly have a strong way to bust this Hilda, or this Juggler. Juggler is a lot easier to kill, but there's two tanks. They're just sort of, Kruger and Liko will be able to do all their nonsense unfettered. So it's going to be up to Sherry, I think, to do some work. But I think that if Kruger brings the appropriate troops, then Sherry should not be able to assassinate him, especially if he goes in with Dark Ward. Sherry could probably kill Liko. It's a little, I guess it's a little suspect if she brings Crystal Warlocks. Thank you, Aridin. Always forget that damn title. Anyway, yeah, Strengthen, very standard on TsDL. War Goddess on Hilda. Usually you'd see Ram, especially when you're fighting a dog. But there is Teleport to answer that. Parry on Burn and Hegemony, which is what I expected to see, but again, the problem is that Onasi's comp just can't really outlast Z808's comp. And Hegemony is more a endgame win condition. And I'm not sure about a ditching Rupture either. I don't really see what Parry is offering you against this composition. Yeah, Sherry brought standard skill set. Shadow Raid to activate Act again, then Raging Storm to maybe go hit something. AoE Ares? I suppose the only thing Onasi is thinking with this is that he can hopefully find some sort of good swap. Single target Ares could have been nice to combo with TsDL and killing the Hilda. Something else that I'm thinking is that I feel that you'd want to move TsDL before you move, or after you move Hilda, because she's going to burn through her buffs really quickly. You could also guard turn 1 with Hilda instead. Master of Ice on Juggler. Makes sense because Z808 has a very much so AoE team. This is a 4-star Kruger, so his damage is not going, well, no, sorry, 5-star, yeah, 18% is 5-star. Kruger is a powerhouse at 6-star because 30% damage is a lot, and his int is rather good as well. At 5-star, he definitely does not perform as well. Hilda bringing Dominating Formation here just to extend guard for another turn, and Rosin brought Faction buff instead, which I don't necessarily think you have to do. Yeah. I feel like 3C for the bigger heals would be nice, especially because Licorice had decided to bring Faction buff, which makes sense given her unique. 6-star Liko, no Bracer. Not that it matters in this match, but it's very relevant information for future matches, and stuff like that is good to keep in mind. Figuring out exactly what your opponent's running. Green skill on Hilda. I wonder, looking at this HP, that kind of tells me that it's Overlord's badge, because this Hilda doesn't have an attack buff right now. That's also relevant. Very high defense. But the problem is that I think because of that accessory choice, your Hilda probably doesn't have much of a chance of surviving this TsDL. And it also perhaps not Thorns, which is why we see Templar Knights. So it's even safe for TsDL to whittle this Hilda down. Excuse me. One moment. So, Onasi's win condition is getting through these tanks without dying, more or less. There are good combos to be had. Once Bernhardt reaches Hilda, he could definitely combo off of her. TsDL should be able to one-shot this Hilda, probably. This is a Bracer Juggler, so even supposing honestly Twilight Star TsDL, which this attack kind of indicates that it is, 451, that Juggler will not die. Liko only has one AoE. I mean, it's probably a clock Liko. It seems really hard for Onasi to do much here. I think that he's just gonna eventually get whittled down by AoEs. What's up, Will? Okay, Ares just going in immediately. We see that Hilda has guard. Or yeah, both Hilda and Juggler have guard. Ares, I don't think, got a sweep formation stack, so he can't retreat. I suppose the point of this is to get Hilda into, or to get some sort of person into Bernhardt attack range, because there's not a good single target on Z808 side to punish Burn. And Burn is one of the few units on this team with self-healing. Actually, no, they all have self-healing. Sherry does, Ares does. Juggler does have rosin stacks, and it could be a little dangerous for Sherry to attack into this Juggler, but I don't know. We'll see Bernhardt move. It might have been better to save that Juggler jump, especially if the plan was for Bernhardt to go in, because then this might happen. You might lose water, which he didn't. This will burn Sherry act again. It actually forces it. Oh no, it dispelled B-Shock. And Sherry did breeze. So Kruger can stay in Hilda guard range. Sherry can also reach Liko here, but then she wouldn't be able to act again, and I don't think she's going to kill with Shadow Raid. Probably just see a... Yeah, we'll probably just see Kruger. He could either Dark Dragon Breath or 3C here. Both are fine. I think I would prefer Dark Dragon Breath more because Kruger would like to refresh his 3C cooldown faster. But now it's pretty dangerous for Sherry to attack anything. She can't 2-range Kruger. She will die for it. Probably? Yeah. Angels might be able to tank it. As for TsDL, she could maybe one-shot this juggler. It'll still probably not enough. Sorks just are not that great below 100%. She has a damage dealt down. Liko's not in range for anybody, so we'll probably just see her move up. Onasi really thinking about what to do with Sherry. Can't really attack Hilda here. Attacking Jug would also be really risky. I mean, actually, these lobsters will do literally nothing to these angels. And then Juggler, since he got V-Shock effect dispelled, he'll only do 6 hits. I think he could probably be okay. Or she, rather. I mean, the thing is, do you really want a Raging Thunder here, though? I guess it's healing. And that was more... Attacking with Shadow Raid there was more to get a turn of healing on Sherry instead of anything else. Defender of the People, Thorns. It actually could have been worse for that Sherry if Defender of the People didn't proc there. It doesn't really accomplish much. Ares just dies of that. More int-focused Liko, and yeah, I did see a damage dealt buff from the Miracle, from Rosin. Still, I don't think there's anything that could kill this Sherry if TsDL 3C's here. Yeah. Sherry can also just run back. Rosin can give Juggler Mass Crystal healing here. So there is a bit of healing. This is not a holy TsDL, so there's definitely no Gift of Eternal Life, and thus one of the problems with Strengthen comes up is that she has no way to heal herself. So it's difficult for TsDL in this situation. One Kruger AoE will be enough to kill her. And so yeah, she's in range of a Kruger AoE. Does kill the Juggler. She will die for it. She couldn't go back any farther than this. I think the play here is Kruger just AoEs, kills the TsDL, injures the burn some more, who does have memers, interestingly. Okay. So the problem with this... Could move Bernhardt... No, yeah. There's no way to block the Kruger. Nobody has enough mobility. And Bernhardt's also in water, so... Defender of the People and Thorns again. And gets his attack buff with the Imperial Radiance. So I guess that's probably one of the nicest... Rosin faction buff is really damn strong. Especially on your tank, right? And this Liko just straight up kills the burn. The bishops clean up most of the werewolves, and Liko ticks plus remaining bishop ticks are enough. And Onasi calls it. Both these players have very capable boxes. Both very versatile, with lots of options. Neither necessarily need to make any swap. What's up, Lurker? But there were some key things to get data-wise from Z808's box for Onasi in the first game. First off is that Hilda was not blood-packed, so an Elwyn swap could potentially be good, for instance. Second off was that Liko was not Bracer, so playing more debuff could also be good, for instance, leaving those kind of characters up to fight them anyway. Z808 this time first bans Sherry. Did not like dealing with her last game. I personally don't think Sherry is so strong a pick in this current meta that she needs to be first ban, but it's okay. First pick Lucretia is a very common strategy these days. She has a revive. It's generally bad tempo to kill her. She's flexible between AoE or single target. She has mass attack, so she can buff up anybody that you'd like to pick. Puppet has a lot of utility. She's just a great unit. Flourish getting targeted because the 808 is player 2, and Hilda's buffing her. Werner is a decent pick against Liana. If Liana's not Glory of the World, then Werner can't kill her. Or then Werner can kill her. Kruger is safe. He has green soldiers. Bernhardt's pretty safe. Werner can't even get through his werewolves. He is good against TsDL. Should be good against this Liko too because she's not Bracer. Lucretia, you could take a life. Plus, there's plenty of terrain for Werner to provide mobility boosters to everybody. Helena, very annoying with all her AoE damage and blood swords all over the place. Z808 didn't necessarily need to pick a healer there since Liana, or you could let Liana and Rosin get banned, honestly. And it's to some extent I also feel like Liana would be a better pick here. There's not that much debuff, but I guess it does make you safe against AoE Lucretia. And banning Liana is something I also don't think Onasi needed to do here. I mean, Act Again is annoying, but Z808 wants Onasi to also have to play tank push. This does indeed look like a long game. I'm imagining Onasi's gonna pick Hilda here. He could pick Oldius, but Oldius is not the best pick against Hilda. So yeah. And yeah, last pick Lucretia is insanity. Crazy. 5-star Helena, I mean, she's alright. I think she'll mostly kill stuff with single target anyway. And Helena's more like an annoying... She's someone you put in your box because if you go tankless, then Helena's really potent. Yeah, third pick Helena into Hilda. It's not great. Z808 has the better healer against AoE. The thing that we did see about Z808's Hilda is that it only has like around 16,000 HP, which Lucretia should probably be able to one-shot it. She can do so kind of safely. The problem is that there's Kruger, and even the enemy of Lucretia, who can both kill Lucretia after she dies from thorns, but Puppet could swap her far away. Well, Hilda does have Forbidden Defenders. If that procs, then yeah, there's no way Lucretia can kill Hilda. Rosin buff is going to strip attack buff from Lucretia every time. Yeah. Because we did see that Z808 likes to bring Rosin buff for Hilda. But, oh yeah, well, it's fine on Lucretia too here, so. It's part of Rosin's crazy utility. Not just one of the best healers in the game, she also has a buff. I mean, I guess a lot of healers do have some form of buff. War Goddess, dominating formation again because Rosin brought buff. This time we see B-Shot because it's a more tank push based game. And the strategy is less so AoE here. I'm not exactly sure why Lucretia brought action buff or a mass attack. It would solely be, it would be to, yeah. I don't think, I guess it's just for Kruger. That's fair enough. Yeah, Werner is Onasi's best chance of getting something done. Like, you can kill the Rosin. She didn't bring 3C, and then Z808's comp loses its longevity. It is Holy Lucretia, likely Gift of Eternal Life, but not always. Oh wait, no, it's definitely Gift of Eternal Life because Int is green. If it was Genius Staff, Int wouldn't be green. So yeah. And that Int looks too low to be Red Moon in my opinion. Huh, yeah, fair enough. I feel like a 6-star Lucretia with Gift of Eternal Life could probably have that value, so it's hard to gauge. Good evening, Zero. Game 1 was rough for Onasi. Z808 sort of won in band pick. It was a tank push game, and Onasi did not have a good healer, so. Dominating formation here is mostly just for an extra turn of guard. I suppose it could also somehow prevent Werner from moving away, maybe? Probably not. Black Hole is good here. Liana didn't bring Sky Archer or anything like that. The Kruger debuffs will be really annoying. They'll, that's Kruger debuff's best asset, is that they fill up debuff slots and make more annoying things harder to purge. Kruger is not necessarily deals the biggest amount of debuffs. I mean, it is still 3 debuffs. And Lucretia can deal 2. Both could be potentially devastating. Liana probably Gospels herself. Against this mostly AoE comp, and with how potent Hilda is as a tank, I feel like you could drop just regular heal. But then it can be kind of difficult for Liana to keep her own HP high. There's really no point in Lucretia here on Onasi's side running any AoE. It would not do much against Rosin. And Juggler. Lava Titans on Kruger, as we'd expect, to prevent Warner from being able to snipe him. This is depth, so Lucretia's not in range. She wouldn't be anyway. Wait, yeah, she would with Black Hole. It's 5. Just Helena third pick on Onasi's side. It just against a Hilda first pick. It just doesn't seem like Helena can carry that much. I mean, there's Juggler too, so Helena's repeated AoE hits are not great. Onasi should have tried to flip turn priority turn 1 to have a better Werner game and the last move act again. Yeah, that'd be a good strategy. When you're playing Werner to begin with, usually you want to hang back and take some turns to build up 3C stacks. So giving over turn priority so your act again is more effective later is not a bad idea. And you could even like act again Werner so he can just build up 2 stacks. So yeah, I like the idea of that. Hilda again bringing Templar Knights. Usually you would see Molders. I mean, especially with Thorns Hilda. I am not actually sure which is the tankier of the two. I mean, comparing their stats, it looks to me like the Templar Knights are a bit tankier, but I think the problem is that they get 2-ticked anyway, so it doesn't really make any practical difference. So the sustain of Molders, as well as the reflect damage, are both really good. Thor's Necklace Werner with arcane armor to kill Lucretia in 1 hit. Yeah, Thor's would be a lot better if it procced 100% of the time, but at 50% it's just kind of crap. And Werner loses so many kills without Twilight Star. Seems rough. Very much so reliant on it to score a lot of kills. But Rosin's out of position. I was just thinking that earlier, and then I got sidetracked. Lucretia gets his kill for free. The puppet just swaps. Puppet can move back into safety as well. You don't really need a Magic Pulse, Lucretia. I think I liked the idea of using it on Liana more here. get another gospel up. Yeah, it looks really tough for Z808 now. He doesn't have a healer. There is no AoE, but why? There's Helena. Jeez, my mind's not working. It's just tough being down a unit. And Onasi is going to lose turn priority, but he doesn't really care because act again. So, in fact, he would prefer to be player 2. Six-star Lucretia on Onasi's side, very strong. I am not sure what you're asking, Zero. Puts the water debuff on the Werner. Feels like a bit of a desperate move. This Lucretia can reach. The problem is that okay, yeah. Well, okay, yeah, no. Langrisser can reach, and even if Thorns happens, then the puppet can still be in range, and Lucretia can still punch this Hilda. Maybe take 1 life. I think the main thing that is concerning Z808 is he doesn't want Lucretia to be able to get hit, so he's just using Juggler as a forward bunker in this case. Act again on Lucretia. Puppet moves somewhere like there. That's fine too. Interesting thing you can do with Lucretia and her puppet is you can keep using it on Juggler. Lidar's Rose Lucretia, very interesting. So, big silences. Black Hole showing that it's a pretty good spell indeed. Thankfully, it did not silence Liana. It's an interesting point is that Gospel got put onto Hilda instead of Liana herself. Usually against Kruger, or debuff in general, you want to put the Gospel on Liana so she can, you know, keep healing. Thank you for the raid, Mr. Take It Easy. Hello, everybody. So, this is where Kruger's 3C debuffs are really annoying. Especially because Liana didn't bring Sky Archer or anything like that. Liana cannot necessarily remove these silences. The thing is now at this point though that Z808 has 1 more AoE. And Onasi's losing turn priority. Lucretia is actually out of position with her puppet. So Lucretia is going to die to Kruger AoE here. If this was 6-star Kruger, I would say that Liana has a chance of dying, but it's not, so it's probably not going to be enough there. Werner should actually use, okay, no, there's no point in using defensive stance. And buff block prevents him from getting a stack anyway. Yeah. I didn't know it worked like that, but good to know. Yeah, the move here is likely just yeet the Kruger. There's still a chance that, well, less of a chance because Liana doesn't have a buff, so it's only 2 random debuffs from his 3C. Yeah, there's nothing that can really punish this Kruger. As you can see, if it was 6-star Kruger, good chance that Liana's dead, but it wasn't. %12% damage probably makes that difference. And Liana has fixed damage, so yeah, she has to heal herself. However, at this point, Z808 is now out of AoEs. It'd be a lot rougher if, wow. Okay, so Z808 needed to move his puppet up first before attacking the Hilda. That way the thorns wouldn't work. Glad you like the music, Envy. Yeah, and Werner would have been a free pick. Doggo used his 3C. This Hilda barely lived. So yeah, at this point it's really hard. This Hilda's not really gonna do anything. Z808 doesn't have a healer, so Z808 should be able to win this eventually. Or Onasi should be able to win this. Kruger 3C is up in 2 turns. Yeah, Helena just wins this eventually. There's no way to kill her. Killing the puppet to prevent the utility of it, as well as just the general utility of it, plus it removes an action from Z808. This should kill. Wow. Damn. I really expected that to kill. Hey, dang. It's, yeah, Onasi just eventually wins this. Really good positioning because of this Beast Shock. Does take the first life on Hilda, but there's no follow-up, and there's no way to kill her a second time. Locks Werner in the fog. Or not in the fog, just locks Werner in place. But, Onasi just moves up. I'm on TV. Are indeed. Ram could have been nice here, but even then it doesn't really matter. because Helena has her crystal trail. I do think that Helena probably wanted to move back before Liana moved. That way she would get some healing, but it's not a big deal. Putting the chip damage on the juggler. Doesn't really matter if Kruger gets healed. Should be using defensive stance here. Just get some more healing up on that Werner. I mean, even supposing this Werner would be locked in the fog, Onasi has 2 more actions available, so B-Shock would have been forced to run out. All this position stemming from just a miscalculation in where Z808 placed Rosin. Would have been a lot harder of a game for Onasi if not for that. That should probably go without saying that when you give your opponent a unit for free, that... Never mind. Rosin Seal moved out of guard range of Hilda, and yeah, Lucretia just took the pick. Dominating formation tiles don't really matter. Yeah, Z808 also attacked Hilda without puppet in range, so Lucretia just died to Thorns. There's not really a way to block Onasi out either. A little awkward of a spot for Hilda, because Liana wanted to move to be able to heal everybody. Kruger 3C is up next turn. It really goes back to Werner really probably needed to use defense stance last turn. I think Helena actually has a move 3 blocks and get stuff for her Heart Bond, but I don't think it matters too much. Damn, that was really close. Will it be enough? It's gonna be close. Nah, he's dead. Oh, because it's not Bracer to Juggler, actually. Supposing that it was Bracer Juggler, there was a good chance that he would survive there. Oh yeah, Bracer got disabled, probably, from Helena's stuff. I would imagine it's Bracer Juggler. Usually that's what you'd expect. Use defense stance. Yeah, this Werner's dead. Oh man, two fixed stacks on Liana. Liana has to use heal on herself. You can move Hilda first. Yeah, that's fine. Liana would like to move here, but she can't because it's depths. And this Hilda will eventually go down to this Helena. Who does have up to 2 turns of AoEs incoming. Liana could die, honestly. These Lava Titans, well, not right now, but if Kruger uses Dark Ward, he'll have Dark Dragon Breath up immediately. At the same time, even supposing that Liana dies, there's no way to get through the Helena. She very thankfully got one of the fixed damage stacks. That's a damage taken plus 20% though. But Kruger doesn't have an attack buff, so this Liana's probably safe. Yep, very comfortably lives. Again, not a 6-star Kruger. And Clock. Not something you see too often on Kruger. The main thing about Clock on Kruger is that his 3C has such a good cooldown that, and he also has an act again, so his cooldowns usually aren't a big issue. So Breeze for the better positioning is nice, and you could honestly even go Full Moon if you really wanted to. I just talked about Clock Kruger. 3C cannot be clocked, that is right. That's another reason that you don't really run Clock Kruger. And yeah, Liana is heal blocked, but since he did Clock, Liana's gonna die. But then it's 2 turns before Kruger has another AoE, unless he clocks again, you know. Yeah, passive block on Elena, pretty annoying. Didn't clock again this time. The thing is, Hilda on Onasi's side with Crystal Molders has a lot of sustain. That's part of the reason that you don't really see Templar Knights ran on Hilda, is that an endgame Crystal Molders healing can be pivotal. The silence on Helena is annoying, but Helena moves. Oh yeah. Onasi sort of just has to position in this diagonal formation, and then Z808 actually cannot get into the center anymore. Z-Bob. I never realized that. I never realized that that would be his name in League Speak. But yeah, he didn't really have to move Kruger. I mean, the thing is, I definitely think Helena will kill this Hilda eventually, before the game ends. And there's also the puppet, who can still do some decent damage, actually. Might as well attack Hilda there if you ask me. Oh, okay, anyway. Kruger can 3C, but by the next time he AoEs, Helena's going to have Chiv. And she'll even have her 3C. But yeah, even, supposing that Kruger was alive. He's dead. And that's GG. I mean, it wasn't a great spot, but come on. It wasn't really gonna be a win anyway. Like, sooner or later, Helena will kill this Hilda, whether it be through fixed damage or other means. It might be a different story if this Hilda had crystal molders. Yeah, honestly, if Hilda did have crystal molders, Z808 could have totally, almost certainly won this off of just damage counter. Yeah, this was still really close. Molders will help with Helena potentially killing, though. Anyway, game 3. At the point Kruger died, Helena was always going to have Chiv. And there was only Hilda and the puppet up anyway. I don't think we saw any box swaps last game. Maybe we'll see some this game. Again, I think both players' boxes are versatile enough. Okay. Z808 going for the Empire team. More leaning towards an early pick on Burn. Units like Alt. Well, unit like Emmerich is very much so dependent on a faction buff. Alt less so, but he really prefers to have somebody else buff him rather than carry his own buff. Z808 saw how good Kruger was and wants to first pick him this time. And bans Hilda. Doesn't want to play tank push anymore, it seems, although I think Kruger would rather fight Juggler, or Kruger would rather fight Hilda than he would rather fight Juggler. Can only see Z-Bob. Okay, we got a Kruger mirror. Sherry banned for her assassin capabilities and also being very nice against tankless. Kiara being banned out because Onasi is probably leaning more towards an AoE strategy with swapping Himiko in, and Kiara is very good against AoE. You guys are ruthless. Z808 doesn't want to get banned out of healers, although I still don't think he needs to pick a healer this early. You have Lucretia, you have Liko, both can be off healers. Unless you're picking up the Kiara, who's going to be really good against any AoE coming out. Onasi also said, I don't want any of this Empire nonsense. Himiko and TsDL getting banned. TsDL for her teleport, strengthened capabilities. Himiko for being a really good AoE follow-up. But leaving up somebody like Lucretia. I mean, hell, Onasi could even pick Liana here and she'd be good. She'd be really nice against the AoE. Odious could be good as well. Kruger kind of wants to bring Sorceress on this map, so Odious could zone him out. Liana's the safe choice. Really nice against debuff, but Flow would be good too. But I do think most people would agree that Liana is better against debuff than Flow is. But Flow would be nice for like giving Kira a guaranteed breeze. Even Kruger could benefit from that. Multiple act agains. Yeah, you guys are right. Especially if Flow has new staff. And mass attack is good as well. And yeah, it's just more about if you're a more defensive player, you'd pick Liana, and if you're a more aggressive player, you'd pick Flow, and being more aggressive is probably better in general at the moment. Fourth pick Lucretia on both sides. Double healer for Z808, so trades won't be effective. However, Z808 does have the tank. I mean, it hardly matters with Akira around. Maybe if Ares gets picked? Yeah, I do think Onasi's ended up with a stronger draft here. Kira's just really hard to deal with. She can snipe Flow. There's a good chance that she can snipe Kruger. She can take out Lucretia's puppet. Liana could be safe. Last pick Flow would have been good as well. She wouldn't have had a buff, but it still would have been nice. I think Ares is also fine though. Ares could get some nice combos off of Kruger or Lucretia going AoE. All these units can enable Kira to even snipe Liana. Liana would need to bring Highland Warriors to be able to tank Kira here. Acid burns on Onasi's side could be quite good. I'd like to see that. Liana could tech against it with Mass Protect, but if she doesn't, then with the tank push Z808 is bringing, Acid burns could really mess things up. So Liana did not bring Mass Protect. Kruger bringing Dark Dragon Breath just for the range. Z808 pursuing an AoE based strategy. Makes sense because, I mean, you could run Dark Reaper Kruger here. You could. Gospel will be going on to Kruger, and Liana did want to bring Highland Warriors here just to make her more safe against Kira. With a Hilda around preventing crit, good chance that Highland Warriors can tank that. Mass attack on Lucretia. Pretty much for the Kruger. I mean, you did have Gospel on Liana. I guess it's for the silence prevention more than anything else. That's fine. And Dark Dragon Breath on Onasi's Kruger. As well as AoE Ares. So this Ares is more so looking to pull people either out of Hilda guard range or pull Hilda on the turn her guard is down after she moves. Those are two big Ares plays right there. Firebrand snipers on Lucretia. I mean, I don't think it really matters. I'm pretty sure she would kill any of these units anyway. I guess he's bringing... Okay, no, I like it. He's thinking about the end game, where Firebrand snipers would probably be better against these Sorks. I think they're dead anyway, but still, you know. And Faceless on Kira is the correct choice here. Kira attacks troops first, so Kira wants to take out the troops, and then the Faceless will hit the squishy mages. The physically squishy mages. I'm still laughing at the D-bomb, kinda. So, Z808 does have a bit of a range advantage here with Florentia. The problem is that, well, for one, Fiora. For two, any unit that goes in is going to die. So he's really only as fast as his tank. I guess it's hard to say you ever have the range advantage versus Kira. And the thing is, you can't even like AoE her to stop her. Like try to injure her troops and make her miss kills. It just doesn't work. She just heals it all up. It's a big heal. Okay, so this is a pretty awkward spot for Z808's Kruger already. Kira got gospeled by Liana, and interestingly enough, this is not a teddy bear Liana. Oh wait, no, this is not gospel. Never mind. It's a mass attack. Mostly we're just going to be seeing Z808 push up. Everybody's going to stay in Hilda range mostly. Which is why I would have really liked Acid Birds on Kruger. And I guess this is part of the range advantage. The creature can step right here. She can drop... Yeah, she can drop in Heaven Sanction here. And then that's the range. As far as Black Hole... Black Hole is out of range. That is a tile Black Hole could reach. Wait. Yeah, okay. Still just good for generally zoning. So Kira, if she's Genius Staff, which pretty much most of them are, is in range to hit Kruger. She won't crit. Because of Hilda. I'm not sure if she can kill Kruger with Sorks, but we'll see. This Kruger is a little squishy. Yeah, that's damage dealt down. But if Ares AoE is first, then I don't know. I mean, Kruger should just be full healed off of this, but there is a chance Kruger dies, and he did, by the way. You could tell by clicking there. See? if Kruger lived through that, then you would have seen his stuff come up at the bottom. You can also figure out debuffs that way. Can be relevant if you're on timer pressure. Lucretia also comes very close to dying. Well, at least losing her first life. Or did she? Yeah, I guess she did. I was too focused on Kruger dying and explaining that. Hilda did not guard. So Lucretia could just die here. That's actually a mistake. There's really no reason to kill the puppet there. You could just kill Lucretia. So maybe you didn't notice the kill either. So now things look pretty great for Onasi. Clock Lucretia. Also not something you see every day. And GG. There's kind of not too much to say about that last game there, other than what was said in the match. I think Onasi just had a much better draft. The Akira is so much pressure on Z808's team. There is potential to deal with her. Especially if you bring Highland Warriors on Liana, because Liana should generally be able to tank that, especially with Hilda around. And then you also have Lucretia, Hilda, and her puppet. And you can definitely use these to create some zoning and limit Kira's range a bit. Plus get close enough so you can punish this tankless composition. But what it came down to was that Kruger got crit twice and died. The Kruger was a bit on the squishier end as well. Tough stuff. Better luck next time though to Z808. Congratulations on making it this far. Round of 32 is very good.